The escape of Europe's smartest criminal. Red Randy, nice friend. Everything in the safe.
Gone. In a single morning, more than $40 million had just disappeared from one of France's biggest banks.
When is that? When is that?
When
is that?
It was gone. In a single morning, more than $40 million had just
probably 1970 or something.
Disappeared.
40 million US dollar in 1970 is wow, that's a lot of money today.
From one of
100 million today.
France's biggest banks. When the police finally got into the vault, it was obvious that this was no ordinary bank robbery. Instead of breaking into the bank itself, the thieves had tunneled all the way from the sewer.
Oh, tunnel. Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of prisoner escape. They like to use the tunnel, like or bank heist, right? They just like to use the tunnel. Tunnel is such a fascinating
through
thing.
The concrete walls of the vault.
They probably already planned this like 2-3 years ago, some shit like that. Yeah.
When inside, they ransacked the safe deposit boxes, taking gold, cash, and precious jewels before vanishing.
Sans arms, sans violence, at sans high.
Back into the sewers. It's not every day that you suddenly decide to rob a bank. But in September 1974, that's exactly what happened to Albert Spaggiari. He had just become a customer of the Société Générale and went to drop off some money into his safe deposit box.
Okay, it's like a premium bank though. Not everybody can become the customer of this bank. So
when he was inside the vault, he noticed that there wasn't a single alarm in the entire vault. To make sure he was correct, the next day he placed an alarm clock inside his safe deposit box and set it to go off at 1 a.m. If there was an alarm, surely the sound of his clock would trigger it. That evening, Albert waited in a bar across the street, and when 1 a.m. arrived, nothing happened. At this point,
why did he put an alarm inside the safe though? Let's see.
His safe deposit box and set it to go off at 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
If there was an alarm, surely the sound of his clock would trigger it. That evening, Albert waited in a bar across the street, and when 1 a.m. arrived, nothing happened. At this point, he knew he was going to rob the bank, but he still had no idea how.
Oh, this motherfucker is testing. He's putting an alarm to test if the alarm go off. Anybody would notice that. But he's basically testing the security system of this bank.
Then when he was scoping out the exterior of the bank, he overheard a conversation.
Have you heard they're planning on what?
De construire un métro à Nice.
Un métro? Je pensais qu'on ne pouvait rien construire de souterrain ici à cause de la Méditerranée.
Bon sang.
Nice a de grands égouts, comme à Paris.
Les égouts sont tellement grands qu'on pourrait faire passer un camion.
Suddenly, it clicked in Albert's head. Nice used to have a river running through its center, where many of the old sewer lines fed into. But after decades of building on top of the river, this area was now completely...
Oh god, that's a big project that's going on in the city, and they're trying to build a railway or something like that, subway or something. And
underground.
Let's see if the thief is gonna use that.
And enormous tunnels had been built to handle the river during a flood.
Smart.
If one of these sewer tunnels went anywhere near the bank, it could allow Albert to dig his way into the vault without anyone noticing. Albert managed to get his hands on blueprints of the city's sewer system.
Fuck! Wow. He can use all this talent, all this time, right, to actually build a real project and make real money. When you're going this deep to kind of dig such a long tunnel to reach a bank, wow, it takes years of hard work.
According to these, there was a ramp underneath the convention center that led down into the city's main sewage tunnels. From there, a service road inside the tunnel followed the old river until it reached the Masséna Plaza. Then, a smaller sewage tunnel broke off and ran underneath the streets, and crucially, right past the bank. Being the well-connected criminal that he was, Albert quickly pulled together a team of around 20 men. He had tunneling experts,
20 men,
plumbers, electricians, welders. These guys were professionals, and all they needed now was the equipment. To be extra cautious, Albert traveled all across France and Europe, buying things in small quantities to leave no obvious trace.
I'm thinking, will this guy ever get caught? He's like a businessman though. I mean, he spent all this year plotting for to rob the bank in this way, in this like complex way, right? It's better to just build a company and make a real money and run a real business. For me, it's just too much work, right? And it's illegal in the end. I guess he just have like to commit crime.
The idea was that all of the equipment left behind after the heist would lead the police on a wild goose chase, one that would ultimately lead them nowhere. With everything bought, the sewer rats could now start digging.
Okay, we gotta stop digging, guys.
Some of the team entered the sewers via the ramp and drove over a mile to reach the sewage tunnel. From there, they had to walk around 300 meters to reach the crucial digging point.
Wow. I'm gonna go to the tunnel and crawl through the 300-meter tunnel to reach the digging point. Okay, sure. So they are pretty close to the bank already. Wow, how do they even know, man? Jesus.
The rest of the gang entered the sewer
where are they even
through an access room in an underground parking garage.
Underground parking garage? Wow. Wow, this shit is like playing a game though. They plan off this. So you can go from this underground parking garage to the tunnel here and reach a bank there? I could never.
From there, the crew ran an enormous electrical cable.
Even looking at this made me feel like I'm too dumb.
From the outlet in the parking garage down into the sewers, giving them power for lights and tools.
Okay.
Like a well-oiled machine, they started drilling, removing tons of
keep drilling,
rock
baby,
and piling it up in an unused part of the sewer. To avoid any suspicion from the town's sewage workers, they cemented up the entrance of their tunnel to make it look identical to the other tunnel entrances.
Wow. They even changed the tunnel entrance to make it look identical to the other tunnel. That's a lot of work.
Once they were done for the night, they'd leave all of their equipment covered up inside a hole in the tunnel. Once they were done for the night, they'd leave all of their equipment covered up inside a hole in the tunnel and quietly make their way out.
Yo, they have to make a hole in the tunnel to store all the equipment too?
For 2 months, the team went down into the sewers and worked on their tunnel.
Yeah. This is why man more make money. Look at how far a man can go to just make more money.
Many of the crew were above ground on lookout, with radios that allowed them to warn the crew if anyone was entering the sewers. The whole operation was so professional, and after 2 months of straight digging, they knew they had to be getting close. Then,
2 months!
One night in July, the crew
nobody found out, cause they are pro.
Finally hit the concrete walls of the vault. But the timing...
Jesus, imagine, how about a modern bank? Wow, yeah. You know, if you want to build a bank in 2026, right, you have to think about the underground. Yeah, if you have a vault which is like which is located in underground, you have to think about where is there any like tunnel? What's the material be around this like little golden vault here? I mean the wall material. You have to think about that too. There's so many things you have to think about.
Straight digging.
Yeah, my brain is just. It's already getting painful. Think about that.
They knew they had to be getting close. Then, one night in July, the crew finally hit the concrete walls of the vault.
Yo, yeah.
But the timing was terrible. That weekend, the president of France had made a last-minute visit to Nice, and there were enormous amounts of police and security in the city. It was not the time to be robbing a bank.
Not the time, bro. Gotta take a break, buddy. I think I heard this story before.
Albert decided to call off the heist until the following weekend, which was a holiday weekend. This meant that the bank would be...
Yep. Everybody's chilling and stuff. Yep. Imagine you are the manager that's running the bank, though. Or the head of the bank or something. Yep. And you're just having a chill like Christmas dinner. Everything is fine. You know, nobody's stealing money. And yeah. And things going well. And then the next day you came back, the bank lost like $40 million.
Closed, giving the crew more time to break in.
Alright, late. Yeah, me too.
And get as much as possible. In the meantime, Albert had some other matters to attend to. Since he was the mayor's photographer, he was actually a guest at the president's Since he was the mayor's photographer.
Oh, you got some style.
He was actually a guest at the president's event.
A guest at the president's event?
Just hours before this picture was taken, Albert was down in the tunnel.
Holy shit. Wow, he's a guest at the president event, so he's like kind of like a social lead too. Or a few hours later, this motherfucker is at the tunnel. Wow. Yeah, give me the time management skill, man. Okay,
digging his
good.
way to the
He probably have a lot of girlfriend.
city's biggest bank. He was managing the whole operation
Time management skill, baby.
incredibly well, and it was all thanks to Odoo. Just kidding.
Okay, sure. Got to plug in.
Odoo is an all-in-one business manager
Odoo to manage your business. Yeah, you can do a bank heist using Odoo. Thank you, Odoo.
of chipping away at the reinforced concrete. The sewer rats now had their first glimpse of chipping away at the reinforced concrete. The sewer rats now had their first glimpse inside the vault. The bank would be opening up on Monday morning, so the crew
All right, so we are very close to, yep, approaching the bank opening, where there's still holiday going on, and the security is not that good. Now it's time.
had just over 30 hours to get in,
30
take
hours.
as much as possible, and leave through the sewers without getting caught. Later that evening, the hole was finally big enough for the gang to enter the vault.
Oh,
After
why is nobody checking this room like occasionally? You have to check this room like I mean, if I'm running the bank, right, I'm gonna check this room at least every 1 week or something to make sure everything is fine, right? Oh yeah, the guy who is checking, doing the security check, they have to do some wall listening, maybe. Yeah.
that evening, the hole was finally big enough
1.5 months. You're not in your prime anymore. You're getting old.
for the gang to enter the vault. After months of digging, it was time to start the heist.
Yeah.
Over the next
Do it, baby.
30 hours, the gang went crazy, prying open the safe deposit
30 hours.
boxes and taking as much as they could. They found everything: bars, cash, jewels, stock certificates,
Whoa.
and even some saucy photographs of high-up politicians, which
Oh, yeah, man. Yep. Some dirty secret of the politician is inside the safe, though. So when shit hit the fan, you can use it to blackmail the politician to give you money. Oh, yeah.
the crew hung on the walls of the tunnel. After 30 hours, the crew finally took a break, had dinner inside the vault, and celebrated with bottles of red wine.
Oh, Jesus. What the fuck? They're throwing a body inside the vault? Why is nobody in the bank? Come and, do a spot check. I mean, if you are just like a random supervisor that came inside the vault and you open the door and there's like 30 motherfucker there like celebrating, drinking wine and stuff, and all the money is getting stolen. Wow. Maybe I'll just join the gang though and I'll just chill. I'm just working here. They don't pay me enough for me to care. And let me have a cup of wine.
But time was almost up, and at 5 a.m. on
The mo is very good.
Monday morning, they packed up the last
Dumbass bank owner.
bit of treasure and left the vault,
I mean, yeah, they are very dumb though.
leaving behind one
Without weapon, without violence, and without hate. Yeah, I just want the money, no personal, nothing personal. Yes, there's some old people who need this money to live though. I don't hate you. Yeah, you die without this money, but I love you too. I just want to take your money, and if you die, you die. Yeah, no hate, bro.
final message on the wall.
Yeah,
They
buddy.
loaded the stash into the getaway car
No hate. It's just business, baby.
and disappeared into the city just before sunrise. A few hours
Keep digging.
later at 8 a.m., the bank was getting ready to
When I'm
open.
playing Mo.
One of the workers went to open the vault door, but surprisingly, it didn't move.
Oh shit!
The lock mechanism was working perfectly, but the door just would not open.
The door would not open.
As it turned out, just before the crew had left the vault, they had welded the door shut.
Holy fuck! The welder kind of wow, kind of stuck the door too.
Buying them some extra time. After several hours of confusion, the bank decided to drill their way into the vault. And only then was it obvious what had happened.
Woo! That'll be the worst day in your career ever if you were in the bank. Your uncle, yeah.
It might seem like the police had a lot of evidence. Equipment had been littered
Jesus, 40 mil.
across the vault and in the
Okay, first of all, if you're a bank, can you buy insurance from the insurance company? Now, who's gonna insure you if you get robbed by somebody and your vault is deep inside the underground? And the criminal kind of dig the big ass tunnel and stole all your money. Who's gonna insure that shit? Yeah, if the vault is worth like 40 million, let's say, how much would you insure that for? How much is the insurance gonna be? Maybe you're probably gonna pay like 4 million a year just to insure that shit though. And no insurance company is gonna bail them out. We're gonna need the government to build that up by printing more cash.
Sewers. Surely
Build in touch. Yeah.
something would lead to one of the thieves.
Man, they didn't hear shit.
But amazingly, not a single fingerprint was found. The crew had worn gloves the entire time. Even the urine came back with no results, since multiple people had urinated in every single bottle.
What the fuck? Multiple people urinated in a single bottle? And they can't get any evidence from the... Is that how you confuse the police? You try to commit a crime and they're gonna get your gang to pee in the same bottle as you. And they can't get shit from there. They can't get your DNA and stuff because the pee is all mixed up. Jesus.
Albert and his crew had thought of everything. But what he didn't know was that the events that would lead to his arrest had already taken place 2 weeks before the heist.
2 weeks before the heist? Really? Oh, so he slipped up. This motherfucker. Yeah. He's a smart guy. This is not some usual criminal that can just take away that 40 million just like that. He knows some shit.
Up in the mountains, the police were called to a villa.
I thought he'd never get caught. But
normally this villa was empty.
The police were called to the villa?
But the neighbor had seen a suspicious group of men constantly leaving and entering the villa.
Alright, normally this villa is empty, but neighbors see a group of men constantly leaving and coming inside the villa?
When the police questioned the men, they simply said that they had permission from the owner to use the villa. Something wasn't right, but there was nothing more the police could do, so they took down the names of the men and left. But when the heist later...
Okay, so this is their new base. They use this villa as their base? Yeah.
The police could do, so they took down the names of the men and left.
I mean, technically, the police can't do anything, you know? People always like to trash on the police, right? When they're watching a lot of true crime on YouTube and stuff. Why is the police so useless? Yeah, sometimes they are not doing shit though. Yeah, I do agree. But you have to understand. All these criminals, they are well prepared though. They are much more well prepared than a lot of policemen. And there's so many crime that's going on all the time in the city. And the police, they are pretty busy too. They get paid by our taxpayer money, but still. Yeah, it's not an easy job, guys. Yeah, yep. And we're gonna give the police some flour and some breaks sometime.
But when the heist later became...
Except the fat police in the States, right? Who just like to eat junk food and just, pretend that they're doing their job, right? The fat one.
Headline use all over the country, the police officers couldn't shake their suspicion that the villa
am I being mean?
Had something to do with the over the country, the men, and left. But when the heist later became headline use all over the country, the police officers couldn't shake their suspicion that the villa had something to do with the heist.
The villa has something to do with the heist?
And so, they got a search warrant and returned to the villa. After 100 days of the investigation leading...
Okay, so the police have... Yeah, I suspect that there's something to do... Yeah, this villa has something to do with the heist. So, finally, they figured things out.
Nowhere, they were about to get their first clue. Inside the villa, the place was full of tools, equipment, and dirty clothes, all identical to those found in the sewers. 2 of the men from the villa, Alain Bornat and Francis Pellegrin, were arrested. And almost immediately, they told the police everything, even naming Albert Spaggiari as the mastermind behind...
Holy moly, yep. They just turned on their leader like that?
Behind the whole thing.
Oh, I guess, yep. It is what it is, yep. They don't want to go to jail, so they just turn in... Yeah. They just betray their leader just like that.
The police were finally getting...
Marbury County?
Somewhere. Now...
No.
They had to find their biggest target.
Lock in.
But Albert was gone. Just a few days after the heist, he fled the country and spent the next 2 months traveling through Guatemala and the US.
After the heist or before the heist?
He fled the country and spent just a few days after the heist.
Okay, after the heist. So he took the money and he traveled to the US.
When he was there, he even made a phone call to the CIA and admitted to being the mastermind behind the heist. He was getting overconfident and eventually returned to...
Jesus, what's the point of like you committed a very big crime, you call the CIA and you say that I'm the... Yeah. I'm the motherfucker that orchestrated the heist. What's the point? Is this some kind of like ego stuff or just I don't know.
And continued living his life.
Pretty good single player.
Then one morning, while having lunch with his wife in a cafe, Albert was approached by the waitress.
Oh yeah, he's approached by the waitress. This waitress probably gonna be maybe some kind of spy or something. Yeah. Bye, Kendro. Thanks for being here.
Il y a une femme à l'extérieur qui se trouve.
When he walked out, he was instantly surrounded by police officers and arrested.
Jesus. He's arrested in the US, right?
Over the
I thought he would never get caught. Yeah, he's a genius.
next 36 hours, the police interrogated Albert, but he refused to give them any information. It wasn't until his first court appearance that he finally started to talk.
Je n'ai aucun regret.
I have no regrets. I did not act for personal gain. Oh, sure. I trust you. You're such a virtuous man.
Tu es une opération.
I carry out military of all operation. Jesus, yep. I was controlled by the Russia. You can't imagine what we found in the vault.
Eux-mêmes dépassaient de loin celle de l'or et des espèces.
Jewelry.
Seul centime de ma part du butin.
I didn't keep one penny on my share of the loot.
Cet art pour aider les populations des...
Come on, man. This is... Yeah, now it's gonna act like a good person now? Yeah, okay. He said he used the money to kind of like help the poor people in Portugal, Italy, and Yugoslavia. Will this justify his crime? No. Fuck no. You're a Robin Hood, but Robin Hood is still a fucking criminal. That's my take. You know, the public maybe will... some of the public, they will support you a little bit, but... Yeah. But, you know, the wealthy people, they get to the kind of wealth status sometimes because they work hard too. And you think you're playing God by redistributing the wealth though. So, I don't buy that. Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you work hard yourself and make your own money? Then you redistributed your own wealth by making it as a legal business. Why not? Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
Very little of what Albert said in court was accurate. He was just playing with the police and wasting the judge's time. Over the winter, Albert went to court every
Oh yeah, at least the judges is not stupid.
week and continued to give vague and inaccurate information. But on his 20th visit to the court, things would go a bit...
Yo, I thought he's gonna say something genius, like something like, I don't know, man. Yes, yeah, come on, with something genius that justify his bank heist. I mean, he got controlled by the demon and he got some mental disability. He can't control himself, right? Or, you know, my fat wife made me very angry recently. Something like that. And I just can't control myself. And he's very demanding. I'm a good man. I want to make my wife happy, my kid happy and stuff. Now, I might come with some reason, right? To just... Or I'm a spy from the Soviet Union. I don't know.
differently. As
I
always,
thought he's gonna come up with something like that, but yeah, that's a very lame excuse though. Lame way to defend yourself. Like, I'm a Robin Hood.
Albert was taken up to the judge's office, where the police uncuffed him and locked the doors. The week before, Albert
What the fuck? He can talk to the judges like privately, just like that.
had promised the judge that he would give him a detailed description of how the heist went down. And so, Albert pulled out a piece of paper and put it on the judge's desk.
This guy doesn't even look like a real judges. Yeah, everything you want to know.
Exposition.
This and this.
Suddenly, Albert ran to the nearest window, threw it open, and jumped out. On a ledge, rolled, and jumped onto a car that was parked below, making a giant dent in the roof.
What the hell? You think it's some kind of James Bond?
Right beside the car was a motorbike, with the rider revving its engine. Albert hopped on, and in just a matter of seconds,
What the hell? This is like a movie.
he was gone. The French borders were closed and all flights leaving the country were cancelled. But it was too late.
What the hell? They cancel all the flight and close the border because of one criminal? But I guess it took like 40 million, so
French
yeah.
borders were closed and all flights leaving the country were cancelled.
Jesus.
But it was too late. Albert had vanished. As it turned out, Albert had fled to South America, and with the help of plastic surgery and a wig, he was now living in disguise. A few months
Living a rich life in South America.
after his escape, he sent a picture of himself to a local newspaper saying, "Greetings from Albert." He even sent the owner of the car that he damaged $600 and an apology note.
Jesus. $600 to fix a dent?
Even sent the owner of the car that he damaged.
Oh, yeah. Now I want to be the person who got my car done. Yep. Cause the motherfucker kind of crashed on my car and escaped.
$600.
$600 would be a lot of money today, though. Maybe it'll be a couple grand today.
And an apology note. In France, the courts had sentenced him to life in prison.
Bank rape maestro, jail for life.
But he still managed to come back every now and then and visit his mom and his wife. In the end, just 4 men were convicted and only served
What the hell? You never get caught?
about 6 months in jail. Albert lived the rest of his life as a free man until he eventually died of cancer in 1989.
Jesus. He's rich. Yeah. Imagine do a bank heist and yeah. Now you keep around like 20 million US dollar, which is around, I would say, $60 million US today. And wow. And you can still chill. You move to South America and yeah. To live a free life and stuff. You can get a new wife, form a new family. Wow, because you're rich as fuck, right? I'll keep smoking Havana cigar. What the fuck? This motherfucker. Don't give a fuck. Why don't they cash him in South America? Yo, yep. Guys, this is why we need to study, guys. Yep. We need to have high IQ to win in life. Yep. Even a high IQ criminal is like more charismatic. I'm not saying his action is right, but holy fuck, this guy never get caught, man.